Hello fellow hobbyists. So I did a review of this Dspiae ESP and it's a fantastic little grinder slash sander slash drill, engraver, whatever. It takes standard size Dremel bits and it has 2 set screws. So it's a very positive engagement, and yes, it has 3 speeds, low, medium, high, and then it'll actually sense the torque. That's the torque sensor there, and it'll cut itself off if you put too much torque on. Someone asked how long does it last. I can't answer that question because it's never died on me. Every few months, maybe I'll just plug it into my Type-C charger, right, because it sits next to my computer. So it's never been dead, and it's never actually run out of battery on me. So that's the best I can say. I mean, I'm not grinding stuff for an hour. So I grind stuff for like 15 minutes and then I'm done, right? So that's all I can say about that. Alright, but today's video is not about this. I'm perfectly happy with this. The only issue I have with this is I want to have a bunch of different sanding bits without having to replace this piece all the time, right? So I want to have like 3 or 4 of these with a fine, a medium, and a coarse sander. And then I can sand stuff, or polish them by having multiples. But I find that the Dspiae, I don't want to have 3 of these. It would be too pricey for me, or for what I think is a good value. So today's subject is an imposter called Jackknife. Now, before we get into this, I bought this off AliExpress. I was just looking up mini electric sander, but you can look up mini electric grinder and it comes up. There it is. There's a couple different kinds out there and they look very similar. Electric drill, that's another way to search for it on AliExpress. Alright, so anyways, it showed up in the mail, and let's take a look at this guy here. It wasn't listed as a Jackknife either. I think this has CE approval. It's interesting. This is actually an address in Germany. That's interesting, but it's actually made in China. Okay, that makes more sense to me. Oh, sadly, maybe some company in Germany is actually selling this. Maybe they have TV commercials or infomercials, with Jackknife. And then the factory is selling this on a 3rd shift, and they're just using their packaging or something like that. And they're selling it on AliExpress. Well, anyways, this is what's in here. So now we have 2 more boxes in packaging. Very wasteful, of course. Electric grinding pen in here. It's quite heavy. CE approval. Instructions. Okay. So we have a weird charger. It's one of these DC round connectors. So I'm not a fan of that. Why they wouldn't just use a Type-C, I don't know. But there's a charge port, and it doesn't even have an indicator as to which is the positive and which is the negative. So that's very dangerous. Usually it's the pin that's positive and the outside is the negative, but usually that is molded or on a sticker. Maybe it's in here. Let me back out the camera. Alright, let's see what this manual says. Oh boy, that's a lot of text. All safety warning, backlash and related warnings, charges, safety code. Okay. This, I guess, is a version where you could just have it plugged into a wall, and maybe that's continuous use. Brake button, that's probably the chuck. Speed control button, speed indicator lamp. You can power this off a power bank. Alright. Okay, that's that. Motor parts, what the heck does that mean? So they're not not motor parts, they're just different bits. And it's got the Dremel style tool here. And so bit wise, we have 2 purple ceramic bits, pretty fine. very fine actually. This white one, that feels pretty fine as well. So these are 3 ceramic bits. Let's get those over there. And then we have what look like diamond coated bits. So these are generally meant to engrave or shape glass or ceramics, right? But I find that you can strip these diamonds off, at least if you're trying to drill a hole through a tile. But I guess it's better than nothing, right? They're free. And then we have the chuck bits, and there's 5 of them it looks like. Hold on, let me try to arrange these. One rolled over here. Yeah, so you can get some really fine drill bits in there. Like I'm gonna guess that might be a 1mm hole, and then one of these is gonna be a standard Dremel size. Maybe this one. Okay, so that's nice that you have those, so you can fit different brands, different drill bits. And there's already one in here. Maybe this is the Dremel one, right? I wanted to assume. Alright, so yeah, to get a bit in here, this is the lock, or the chuck. Alright, so right now, let me take this off and I'll show you. Right now this thing can't spin. Right, but if I let it go, it's spinning, but the motor is spinning. So that's why, well, you can obviously swap this out, but yeah, this is the standard Dremel size. So this is aluminum, it's not plastic or anything like that. And this brass, and then this is like chromed steel, I'd have to imagine. So you gotta obviously lock it in order for the thing to thread on. And you put in your bit. Hand tighten is fine, but if you really want to torque it down, you can torque it down obviously with the wrench. The other side is if you have like a sander or a disc wheel, and that'll work on the tool. It's nothing to do with this. It has to do with the Dremel bits. Now this body is plastic, so that's definitely cheaper. So far that chuck seems strong. This little chromed plastic thing here is probably keeping the 2 halves together, so you probably don't want to remove that. You know what? Hold on. I'm curious. Maybe this is metal actually. It's hard to say. It's so light. I think it's plastic. And also this product was so cheap, I think it's plastic. Alright, so jack life, voltage 5 volts, 2 amps, just like a USB. It says 5,000, 5 to 15,000 revs per minute, and it can pull up to 30 watts. That's a lie, I think, right? I don't think you can pull 30 watts through a USB. Alright, so there's the LEDs, and then this must be the power button. Some screws holding it together. I'm not going to take this apart, and there again the charge port. So let's see if it even has battery power. It's totally dead. I hope I can revive it. So let me plug it in. Hold on, let's get this thing. Let's see if there's a light. Let me turn this thing on, plug it in. So I plug that into my computer. We'll just let that sit. Possibly it's a completely dead battery. So, it came with this extra set of rotary tools. Oh, what's this? This is so... I think I ordered 2 things. Alright. Alright, so I did order a second copycat of the Dspiae, so this is a pleasant surprise for you. So let's see about this one. Yeah, it's USB powered, and this is basically a knockoff of the Dspiae one, it seems like. Yeah, pencil case. And this one also has, you know, these little diamond coated bits, very similar to the last one. What's in here? This is just a hex tool. Okay, actually that, oh, and 2 grub screws. Those will come in handy. This one has a normal Type-C connector, so that's good. And then we have have the actual rotary tool itself. Now this one just says Art, and this is the interface, very similar to the Dispiae. It's definitely more crudely finished. Look at this, that plate is just peeling off the sticker. Alright, and then back here, that's for the tool. So what's nice is you can store that here. Oh, but this is very loose. It doesn't want to stay there. The Dispiae one, there's something in there keeping the tool in there. So that's one concession you have to make for an imposter. Let's see if this one has power. This one has power. This also sounds very crude. Let me turn that off. Oh, well, that's second speed, third speed. And the bottom lights are probably the charge. It's fully charged. I'm going to turn the Dispiae on. You can hear the difference in how quiet it is, right? Whereas this one sounds like it's more like a... It definitely doesn't sound as smooth. Right, so that's an issue right there. What's nice is they give you 2 extra grub screws. What may not be so nice is there's only 1 grub screw here. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of play in this thing. Let's take this bit here. Oh, well, this is not going to fit this bit at all. So I got to pull out the bits that it came with. Yep, so these are a different diameter. This thing is not using a standard size. So let me confirm this here. The Dispiae one, I'm going to loosen this sander. I'm pretty sure it's a different dimension. I'm pretty sure it's going to fit in here. Yeah. So the Dispiae and this jackknife have the same diameter collet. I think that's what these are called, collets. But this one, you know, the jackknife comes with many size collets, so it can take any sort of bit. But this thing is a much different diameter, so that's unfortunate. I can only use this as a cutter. I don't think these sanding things come in this smaller diameter. But so now I need my calipers. Hold on a second. Let's put this to rest with the sizing here. The one I'm accustomed to has a 2.8 3mm shaft. So now this one is 2.26. Inch-wise, this is 0.09 inches, whereas the Dremel one is 0.11. I don't know if this is 1/8. Maybe this is like a 1/8 shaft. I just abandoned the inch system, so I don't know. I guess I could just use a ruler though, because Dremels, I believe, were invented in America, right? You know what? This is still not it's not an 1/8 inch. It's smaller, so I don't know what the deal is with this size. Alright, so anyways, this one that says Art, you're not going to be able to use Dremel bits in it. So that is unfortunate. This is, you're going to have different size tools. So unfortunately, this is not good for me because I wanted to have multiple sanders. So this will not work for it. I guess I can at least, I don't know, I can't even compare it because the bits aren't the same. You know, I would never actually engrave glass with this thing, so hold on here, where's the tool now? So this grub screws are a little too tight. Yeah, you can't even put a grinding bit in it because those are Dremel size, right? So this is what is this for? Let me see. Yeah, if you want to cover up that ergonomic piece of plastic, you can. It seems like a waste of metal, though. I mean, I don't know why you would want to use this metal thing when this is much more ergonomic, right? It's much better this way. They do have the stop here to keep it from rolling, right? And the other one clearly has a massive stop to keep that from rolling, so that's not an issue. Back to the jackknife, I still don't see it charging. Oh, but now it's on. Whoa, that is very loud. Let me take this out, because this has so much mass, maybe that's resonating. Let's just put in this small one here. Tighten that. Oh, see? Oh. Maybe this has no battery in it. I think maybe this is only directly a direct cable-driven device. Yeah, that's gotta be it, right? There's no charging. This is just always driven by USBs. Now this sounds very loud also. And then that's supposedly 15,000 RPMs at number 3. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. So neither of these two are going to help me in my cause. Because I'm not going to sand stuff. First of all, this is too big, I think, right? At least for making tiny model kits. It's just huge. It's a massive difference in size. It's so big I can't even fit it in the frame here. Hold on. Right, so that's an issue. I might donate this to a school or something like that. Yeah, it wasn't that expensive. This one I will keep because it is small. It's just that I'm not going to use it to sand stuff. It pretty much is the same dimensions as the Dspiae one. Yeah, it just major difference is it sounds like horrible, and it only has one locking grub screw, whereas the Dspiae has 2, so you can set it evenly, I think. But actually, you know what? I don't even think there's much play in this brass collar. Let's just see. Oh, well, you know what? I take that back. Maybe there isn't. I'm looking for side-to-side play, and actually it is there. You can see the wobbling of that bit. So that means, to me, if I tighten this thing down, when I tighten this grub screw, it's going to push the point that way, which may or may not mean that point is not in center with the motor. Right? It might be a tiny bit offset, so when this engraves, it might be engraving a circle instead of a point. There's only one way to find out, right? We got this plastic sitting here, or even better, this piece of metal. Well, it's a non-issue. I don't see it like waving off. Hold on here. Okay, different light angle. Focus. Come on. I'm using a mobile phone, so they're not designed to do YouTube videos, but it actually does pretty good macro. This is a Galaxy A7. Of course, now that I say that, it won't. Hold on. Does no good if you can't see. This power button, alright, it's very easy to... There we go. Apologize. So let's turn this on now. See, I don't see that point wandering. pretty much stays where it's supposed to stay. I also think this anodization is pretty thick, or this bit isn't sharp, because it's still blue. Let's try in this thing. Yeah, I'm trying to punch through, but I think I can't because there's a diamond bit. It's such a fine bit. You know, it did leave a divot. Let's see about if it has a torque meter. No, there's no indication of a torque meter like this bit. Oh, wait, it went red. Yeah, if I press down too hard, it goes red, warning you it's going to shut itself off. So that's nice. Let's go max speed. I gotta say, it is a good engraver, and this plastic is doing a good job. That's full speed. Let's go second speed. Yeah, that's good. And out of curiosity, let's just do the slow speed. Slow speed's not very good. It's a little too slow. You see it's wandering too much. I feel like the second or third speed might be better. Here's second speed. Alright. And then third speed. No, that's too fast. So at least for this particular material, which I assume is like polypropylene or PET, the second speed is good. So, but it does its job well. Okay. This thing, I'm never going to use it. It's got a cord, so I don't know what to tell you guys. Well, all right. I guess I can test it for you guys, but I'm never going to use this thing. Let's put in one of these pointed diamond bits here and engrave in some plastic again. This one spins so fast, maybe I will actually use this tool. I just cut my fingernails, so it's hard to pick up stuff. I gotta say here, this chuck, you see it moving? It's not very reassuring. Okay, but that's in tight now. I'm gonna plug in the USB cable. Guess move the camera back a little bit. I'll engrave in this thing here. So speed 1. Oh, now look at this bit. That is wandering a lot. I don't think that's concentric. Oddly, it doesn't seem to make too much difference engraving, but it just feels like it's wandering. Hold on here. I'll put this against a black background, maybe you can see it. Let me just turn it off. Yeah, so I feel like there's play in the motor itself. Like maybe that motor isn't securely mounted. I can feel it wobble a little bit. So we'll continue on. Speed 2. Yeah. Alright. Speed 3 is going to be crazy. So you saw it engrave. Granted, this tip is a lot bigger than the last one. Alright, the tip difference is significant. That might have had something to do with it. But I do feel like this motor is not perfectly centered. I feel like it's wobbling. So for me, I don't like this at all for hobby purposes. For some cruder work, I guess, you know, things that don't have to look particularly nice. I guess you can use it, but it's awfully big, you know, when you look at the competition. So, alright. So yeah, I was going to work on Gundams with these, but now I'm not, because I can't put in Dremel bits. I can't make this a sander. And this one's too big. So I'm still working with the Dspiae, it seems. Ah, boy. You know what? I'm going to show you guys another thing. So now this is a four-way comparison. So this one here is a really cheap nail salon thing. I got all these off AliExpress. What's on the back? Yeah, nail care heads, which I will not use unless I don't have a choice. This has a light on it. This is how it came. Crushed in an envelope, or an envelope. On-off switch, 5 volts, and it's got an old school micro connector. Alright, you can paint that if you want. I am curious, because I don't do manicures or pedicures, what these bits are like. So I think one, oh, there it is. Yeah, these are ceramic also. That's just a ceramic bit. Yeah, these are fine ceramic bits, very similar to the other ones. But this one is a sponge. It's a really dense sponge for polishing, I assume. This one might also be a dense foam sponge or something. Actually, maybe this is too. I don't know. I can't tell. This pink one is definitely ceramic. And then, did it come with this? I guess this is a tiny diamond tip one. Now, looking at these again, I think... Well, let's see. Let's see which one of these it fits. So this is fitting the smaller one, meaning it cannot fit the Dspiae one. I mean, I guess... What's going on? Did it? Yeah, it's definitely a different size, wobbly. One thing I didn't realize about the Dspiae is if you're really careful, since you have 2 grub screws, you could put this smaller one in there, and just as long as you tighten the 2 grub screws the same distance, which I do think would be hard to do, and it would still wobble up and down. You know, it wouldn't wobble this way, but it would wobble this way. So maybe that's a bad idea after all. Alright, so yeah, this is a smaller shaft as well. Let's get the actual device out. So there's the old school charge cable. And looks like, oh, this might spin in 2 directions. 1 speed, 2 speed, off, go the other way, 1 direction. Oh, so that's kind of cool. It goes in 2 directions. Unlike the band One Direction. It's got a little cover on it. And yeah, I can see the lights. I think the lights may even change based on the speed. Yeah, it gets brighter the faster it is. And it's reverse. I thought there was a different color light, but it's not. Alright, well, yeah, it's meant to take these small bits, right? But why is the hole so large? So that's very wobbly. Look at that. That's horrible. I'm wondering if that hole is large because it might be able to take the larger bit. I cannot take the Dremel bit. I cannot. Nope. No can do. Only these small diameter bits. Boy, so again, I guess since we have the ability to fit this tiny one in there, but look at this wobbliness. Where's that piece of plastic? Speed 1. Now you see, I think that thing is wobbling quite a bit. Oh yeah, that's horrible. Yep, it got stuck. It got stuck. So the bit would just get stuck in a certain spot. And so it's not a smooth riding thing, and I guess that has to do with it wobbling. Let's go speed 2. It's a little bit better, but it still feels pretty bad. How do you even get this out? It's just a slight friction fit. That is probably what the wobbling is. There's probably a spring holding this thing in place. I mean, for nail files, I guess it's fine because it's not a precision thing, right? Maybe the plastic was an issue. So I'm going to put this back in this blue one, this same bit, tighten this bit down, and let's see how it writes in this plastic. Maybe it's the bit and not the device. This one seems like it's not wobbling. Yeah, this doesn't want to wander like the last one. Speed 2. That's too hard to control at speed 2. This is a soft plastic, I guess. No, that doesn't feel good at all. No, that's wandering, gouging too much. So I think it has to do with the plastic. This is a really soft plastic, whereas this one was harder. So, okay. Well, naturally, this is intended, these bits are intended for ceramics and glass, which I don't have here, so I apologize. I wasn't intending to use these for the ceramics and glass. But what I can come to conclude is this is not good, because it simply, the bit flexes way too much. This easy mechanism, look at this. This is just horrible. That is so bad. I am well, for the price of this thing, I guess it's fine. I mean, this was really cheap. It was like $3 or something, right? The fact that it's a cordless device for $3, right? So I guess that's fine. I guess if you're gonna polish stuff, like buff it out, which is what nail salons do, then it can have that wandering. This is pretty decent quality, actually. It's just that I can't fit a Dremel bit into it, so possibly, you know, I don't know if Dremel bits come in smaller shaft diameters. Maybe this actually isn't a Dremel bit size. I feel like it is, though. Correct me if I'm wrong, if Dremel bits are smaller in size. But yeah, this is good. It's just not going to fit this thing, which is what I was hoping to do. And then again, this is corded. It's huge. It wanders. This play here. So I would have to say this is garbage. I wouldn't buy this whatsoever. Alright. So today we can conclude for hobby model making, you get what you pay for. And it seems like Dispiae is the clear winner for me as far as making, you know, model kits and sanding and cutting plastics and stuff. Alright, that was a strange video because I was planning to just review one item, but I ended up comparing 4 different things. And my stupid Windows 11, you can't move this taskbar. What is Windows thinking? You can't drag this taskbar or assign it to the top of the monitor. Stupid. Alright, see you guys. I'll see you in the next product review. Thanks for watching.